Right now, you're watching America's most luxurious electric car roll off the assembly line. This is Lucid Motors in Casa Grande, Arizona. Last year, this factory produced over 9,000 cars. And the Grand Touring model? Over 500 miles of range, the longest of any EV in production today. But here's what makes this place special. Lucid wasn't built by traditional automakers. It was built by the engineer who designed Tesla's Model S. And now, they're building EVs that might just make Tesla nervous. Let's go inside and see exactly how these cars are made. Before we step onto the factory floor, you need to know why Lucid exists. Meet Peter Rawlinson, former chief engineer of the Tesla Model S. In 2013, he left Tesla with a mission: build the most efficient, most luxurious electric car ever made. Unlike most EV startups that chase volume, Lucid went after something different: luxury and efficiency. Not one or the other, both. The result? The Lucid Air Grand Touring. 512 miles of EPA estimated range. Up to 1,234 horsepower in the Sapphire Performance model, and a starting price of around $70,000. For context, Tesla Model S, 405 miles. Mercedes EQS, 453 miles. Lucid Air Grand Touring, 512 miles. To build this car, Lucid needed a factory that didn't exist. So in 2016, they broke ground in the Arizona desert. Today, this facility spans over 3 million square feet. And it's just getting started. Welcome to the advanced manufacturing facility in Casa Grande, Arizona. This is the first purpose-built electric vehicle factory in North America. Designed from the ground up for EV production. Production starts here, with steel coils being pressed into body panels. As you can see, this is a Komatsu stamping press, one of the most advanced in North America. Each panel is inspected, then transported to the central warehouse where temperature and humidity are controlled to prevent any corrosion. Now we're in the body shop, where things get serious. Right now, you're watching over 200 robotic arms welding the aluminum body frame together. Lucid chose aluminum over steel for one reason: weight savings. A lighter car means better efficiency. And efficiency is everything when you're chasing 500+ miles of range. Here's the plan. Right now, this factory produces around 10,000 to 14,000 vehicles per year. But it was engineered to scale. With planned expansions, this facility could eventually produce up to 400,000 cars annually. Once the body is fully welded, it moves to the paint shop. But first, anti-corrosion coating. Right now, you're watching the body being dipped in a phosphate tank. This increases paint adhesion and protects against rust. The paint shop has 6 stages, all automated. From primer to base coat to final clear coat. As you can see, robotic arms ensure an even application every single time. After painting, each body moves to this illuminated inspection room. Factory workers check for any imperfections under specialized lighting. Any issues? They're polished out immediately. At $70,000 and up, Lucid can't afford quality shortcuts. Now the real work begins. Let's move to final assembly. This is where everything comes together. Right now, you're watching the main assembly line, where workers and robots work side by side to install everything from the battery pack to the panoramic glass roof. First up, the battery. Lucid's battery pack sits low in the chassis for better center of gravity. But what makes it special isn't size, it's efficiency. Here's Lucid's secret weapon, this electric motor. It's smaller than a carry-on suitcase, yet delivers incredible power. In fact, Lucid's motors are some of the most power-dense in the industry. The Lucid Air comes in multiple configurations. Pure model, 430 horsepower. Single motor, rear-wheel drive. Touring, 620 horsepower. Dual motors, all-wheel drive. Grand Touring, 819 horsepower, dual motors, all-wheel drive. Sapphire, 1,234 horsepower, 3 motors, all-wheel drive. Right now, you're watching the instrument panel being installed. Notice how it's assembled as a complete unit? That's intentional. Fewer parts means fewer potential failure points. Next comes one of Lucid's signature features, this massive panoramic glass canopy. It's installed by a combination of robotic precision and human craftsmanship. Inside, luxury is the priority. From California-inspired minimalist design to hand-stitched leather, every detail is intentional. Even the seats are robotic installed, something that's still rare in automotive manufacturing. Wheels, wiring, front bumper, all installed in sequence. Each car spends about 8 hours on this assembly line before it's ready for testing. A $100,000 car doesn't leave the factory until it's perfect. Right now, You're watching the quality control process. And it's extensive. First stop, the dyno. This machine tests acceleration, braking, motor performance, and battery output. Any irregularities? The car goes back for inspection. Next, the water test. High-pressure water is sprayed from every angle to find any gaps and seals. One drop of water inside? Failed. Then, every single light is tested. Headlights, taillights, turn signals, interior ambient lighting. All checked individually. Finally, the road test. Each Lucid Air is driven on this test track for 30 minutes. Professional drivers check steering, suspension, brakes, acceleration, everything. This section simulates rough roads to test suspension durability. If anything feels off, the car doesn't ship. Only after passing all these tests does a Lucid Air get approved for delivery. So what makes Lucid different? It's not just the range, it's the technology behind it. Lucid's engineers obsessed over aerodynamics. The Air has achieved a drag coefficient of just 0.197, the lowest of any production car in the world. For comparison, the Tesla Model S, 0.24. The Mercedes EQS, 0.20. The Lucid Air, 0.197 inches. Then there's the battery. Lucid uses a custom cell chemistry that packs more energy into less space. The result? 512 miles of range in the Grand Touring without a massive, heavy battery. And Lucid isn't stopping with sedans. This is the Gravity, Lucid's first SUV. Production just started with the same efficiency focus. 450 miles of EPA estimated range. Seating for up to 7, and a drag coefficient of just 0.24 inches. Let's put this in perspective. Last year, Lucid produced around 9,000 cars. Rivian produced 57,000. Tesla produced 1.8 million. But Lucid is playing the long game, with majority backing from Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. They have the resources to scale. The question isn't whether they can build great cars. They already are. The question is, can they scale fast enough? From an empty patch of Arizona desert to one of the most advanced EV factories in America, Lucid Motors is proof that you don't need to be the biggest to make an impact. They've built the most aerodynamic production car in the world. They've achieved over 500 miles of real-world range, and they're just getting started. What do you think? Can Lucid become America's next great car company? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see how Tesla's factory compares, check out the video linked in the card above. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more factory tours and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one.